Sarah and Vinnie on Alice at 97.3.
All right, everyone, we're going to start with super controversial film. It premiered at Sundance, and it debuted on HBO on Sunday. It's called Going Clear. It has 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it was I think the highest debut for a documentary on HBO ever. 2 million people watched it.
Not the highest ever, but very, very close.
It stars Tom Cruise, Isaac Hayes, L. Ron Hubbard, Nicole Kidman, John Travolta, David Miscavige. He's the head. He's the new
Isaac
L.
Hayes
Ron.
is not in it.
Yeah, he is. They do a flashby of him during one of the scenes.
Rest in
Isaac
peace.
Hayes is not in the movie.
I heard Isaac Hayes quit South Park because they did the Scientology
Yeah, he
episode.
did.
That's true?
Yeah,
That's true.
He's passed, right?
Yeah, he
rest,
died.
rest
He
in
died.
peace, Isaac, no matter what your beliefs were.
So this film,
Even in real life, the black dude always goes first.
this film contains tons of historical footage of L. Ron Hubbard, Tom Cruise, John Travolta, as well as interviews from people very high up in the organization who left and decided to tell all. It's called Going Clear because clear, according to Scientology, is like if you go to enough therapy sessions, you're allowing your subconscious to free itself from past trauma. That's clear. But you got to pay a ton of money every time you go to these therapy sessions. And after you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and attend enough of these sessions, you're clear.
You have to get to a level 8.
Level
It's
8.
the highest level you can get. The whole backstory of Scientology is just bananas. We hear about it, but we don't really hear about what this thing is really all about. The whole backstory is like L. Ron Hubbard basically made this whole thing up.
Yeah.
Science fiction writer.
Yeah.
He made the whole thing up, and apparently he had some mental issues.
Yeah.
And so he was very anti-psychiatry, anti-psychology. And making up Dianetics was his way of kind of coping and bringing everybody into the fold because he believed that the psychiatrists and psychologists were all wrong. He came up with this whole thing where these aliens, once upon a time, gajillion years ago, on a planet that looked just like this, all these people got into a big fight with the aliens. And it's just a whole...
Is there any chance, if you watch Going Clear, that you'll become a Scientologist?
Sure.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely not. No, there's no chance. You're
You're
gonna
out of
watch
your
it. And you're gonna have pity on the
have
people
way
you
too
see.
much faith in humans.
Let's talk about the most shocking, disturbing element of the film, which is the Scientology prison camps, where parents and children are separated from one another, and the parents are bullied, living in quarters where ants and other insects crawl on them, sleeping for 2 hours a night for weeks. Did this surprise you?
No, not at all.
That
because
surprises me.
Really, these are things I'd heard about for a good 20 years. You'd heard about them basically, going CIA, torturing people, waterboarding, solitude.
Beaten,
Yeah,
punching, kicking.
And here's
All
the
of
crazy
it.
part. Here's the crazy part. They did this experiment. Well, not an experiment, but they had the main guy came down. They had all these people in this room who'd been in solitary for all these months, right?
Yep.
And he said, "Does anybody want to leave?" They all said, "No, I want to stay. I want to stay." And then he let them out. They went on CNN. They all preached about how great Scientology was, and then they went back into solitary.
With the ants crawling on them, getting tortured, getting beat up, washing toilets with toothbrushes.
So it's brainwashing? What is it?
Oh,
Why
absolutely,
would you,
it's brainwashing,
Why
yeah.
wouldn't you just be like, yeah, I want to stay. Yeah, let me go on CNN and be like, oh my God!
Because-
you can't believe what they're doing to you in there.
Because it's akin to any other type of cult. Your mind is so gone. And the best, like anything, they get you when you're at your lowest moment. You're most mentally and emotionally vulnerable.
Right.
They drag you in, and this is what they did with John Travolta.
Yep.
By happenstance, John Travolta jumped into Scientology, and all of a sudden he started getting all these jobs, and he attributed to, I'm in Scientology. That's what happens when you believe in magic.
Well,
man.
let's talk about John Travolta and Tom Cruise because they're a big part of this film. Did you get the sense that they want to leave but they can't because the church has so many videotape secrets on them? These sessions aren't sessions without the videotape running at all times, whether it's at the Scientology headquarters or at some random
Very
hotel.
interesting.
Did you? I got that sense from Tom Cruise.
Well, I actually didn't get that
Did
sense
Tom
from
Cruise sit for an interview about this?
No.
No, but they have all these sessions with him revealing. When you do these therapy sessions to go clear, you're revealing your deepest, darkest secrets.
And you're not in a patient doctor confidence thing because
not
there's
at
no
all.
doctor.
Exactly.
They think they're doing it because it's sort of their confessional. The church is doing it so that they have stuff on you.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that John Travolta is probably a guy who should not be there. I don't think he believes all the stuff that he's preaching. But the interesting thing was with Tom Cruise, he jumped in initially, then he was away for years.
Tell the story.
He was away for years, and then I don't remember the reason why, but suddenly he was drawn back in.
Well, it was because he married Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's right, because he married Nicole Kidman, and Nicole Kidman's father is a renowned psychiatrist in Australia, one of the most successful out there. And they were going, oh, this is not cool. We got to do something about her. So they kept their eye on Nicole for years and years, and then they finally orchestrated the breakup between Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Tom, like I said, hadn't been acting for a long time, but once they got in his head, you see him on this show, and he's nuts. Completely, totally bonkers. Yeah. It is like almost something you see in a scary movie where the cult leader it's like Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. That's what it's like.
One quick stat that's surprising. There's only 50,000 members. Thank you, Tom. Do you have that
There's
song?
only 50,000 members?
I do. Yes, but they have a gajillion dollars.
This was the song they used in the 90s to recruit members. Just listen to a little bit of it. It's a little...
Knowing the truth will set us free. Take us from clear to eternity.
It sounds like that old hit, Empower You.
Yeah.
It does. Sounds like the greatest American hero.
And all the leaders are in this music video. And this is like a big part of the film as well. This music video. Here comes the chorus.
All right, here we go.
That's true. There is no turning back. When you're in forever.
You know, cults love a choir.
They will destroy you if you try to leave. No turning back is the truth. What do you think, Sarah? I feel like they based this We Are the World.
Oh.
All right.
Sounds like the greatest American hero to me.
Were you surprised to learn the policies Scientologists have against the gay community, how they totally exclude them, and how they supported Prop 8?
No, not surprised.
I was surprised.
Not surprised.
There's a lot of gay actors.
These are things that they've been saying about Scientology for years. The surprising thing was that this is actually written in policy. All this stuff is actually spelled
From
out.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah. That's what's surprising.
Will this hurt the Scientology community, this film?
No.
I think it will.
No.
Sum it all up, let me just say this. It's interesting because one big portion of the film is how Scientology made a backroom deal with the IRS, which allowed them to thrive.
Well, see, and this goes to
crazy.
This goes to the power of Scientology. Explain why they made that deal. Because
it's complex. But just watch it. It's complicated.
Well, no, but this is important to know because Scientology was under scrutiny because they weren't paying taxes.
Because they were getting a religious exemption.
Right. Yeah. And then when the IRS went after them, said, "Oh no, this is not real." The Scientologists organized and they just filed lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit
against
thousands and thousands of lawsuits against the IRS until it became overwhelming.
Individuals at the IRS, not the IRS as a corporation. But the managers.
And dude went in and said, you know what? If you want these lawsuits to go away, essentially, just give us what we want. And he did. And that night, it all stopped. That's how powerful they were.
They were all dropped as soon as they were a religion. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this film a perfect 5 Persian carpets. Wow. Everyone go see it.
I would agree. 5 Aussies. It's one of the 3 or 4 best documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
I would watch it again and again. It's so friggin' fascinating.